Okay, hi guys, welcome back to Audio Levels, and today we've got something really cool. This is the Blon BL-A8, otherwise known as the Prometheus. Before we get into this, I just want to ask you if you want to subscribe, like the video, and follow us on Instagram or Facebook. For July, I think I'm going to make this the giveaway set, so I'm going to try and procure one of these, and I'm going to ship them out. I'll probably use a global shipping service or something like that, depending on where the winner is. But yeah, let's make the Prometheus the earphone giveaway for the subscribers in July. And yeah, the reason I want to do this one is I think it's a really cool sort of thing before we start stepping up the giveaways into sort of over $100, $200 type earphones. So this one is a little bit interesting because Blon was sort of an anomaly. They came out with the Blon BL-A8. So they have this naming structure, BL-A8 on this one, so it makes me think that they're trying to do different product lines, similar in the way that Tin Hi-Fi is trying to differentiate their stuff with their P and their T line, the Tin Hi-Fi T2 and the Tin Hi-Fi P1, different driver technologies, different sort of target market and stuff. This is quite unexpected, and it's unlike anything I've seen before in the construction of it. It's a really fun looking earphone, and it is actually a really good sounding earphone, which I think is something that we've been missing for the past year or so, with everybody trying to throw as many drivers into the mix as possible, people trying to do hybrids and stuff. This is just a pure, I think it's a 10mm dynamic driver, 16 ohms impedance, and it sounds great. It's tuned really, really nice, and I think this offers something a little bit different for what else is on the market right now, especially the new crops of stuff that are coming out. So if we go in, this has been unboxed and used for a week, but I'd like to put everything back in the box if you're new here so that you can see what you're getting in the package, because I think watching unboxing videos are super tedious. But if I talk about the earphones at the same time as unboxing, it might give you a little bit of a different experience. So this earphone comes in two different colors. It comes in what's called light color and white steel. The light color I think is actually more of a black, like a gunmetal finish. I like this one, but I think that in the pictures that I've seen, the darker one is the cooler looking one. So just some of the information on the back: frequency responses, 3.5mm plug. Seems to come with mic and no mic, but I would expect that this is just the standard for the printing the box. I wouldn't expect to see it with the mic. 1.2 meter cable, and yeah, nice little presentation, simple, and I think it's quite nice for the money they're asking. I think they're asking sort of $85, $90 for this earphone. You open it up, put this to the side. Little transparent card here. Gives a nice little look to the presentation, and then you get the first look at the earphones, and it looks more like a set of jewellery than it does a set of earphones, but we'll get into them in a second. In this box you get all the accessories, and you get a little carry case and a cable. So we get carry case, cable, and sorry, that was not put back in the box. This is the user manual that you will never ever in your life need to use for a set of earphones, unless you've never used earphones before and you try to work out what you're meant to do with them. Cable, the little carry sack, which in lieu of having a case, this is actually quite good for something that I think is a little bit of an issue with, not so much on the white steel, but it will be on the darker one, just picking up like pocket lint and stuff in the crevices of the earphones themselves. So yeah, it's nice to have a little case, and it can hold, you know, the earphones plus plus some of the ear tips as well. The ear tips are trash. I would invest in some extra ear tips right from the bat. They're okay to get you by, but I think that in my experience with these, tip rolling them kind of had effects on the treble and the bass, depending on whether you're using Comply foams, spin fits, or short olives or something like that. It is one of these earphones that has an effect on the bass, or effect on the overall sound when you start to talk about tip rolling. I'll put that to the side. We'll talk about the cable. So the cable is simple but very nicely done. It has a dual twist at the bottom, meaning that it's just two strands twisted, and then it splits into two single strands after the splitter point. Splitter point is metal with a little logo on it, and they have a metal cable cinch on it with nice little ear guides on it built into metal 2-pin connectors. If we go back to the jack point again is metal with a little bit of strain relief, and the only real complaint I have, you know, this is a nice cable that performs well. If I do the wind test, wind it up, put it down, really good, well-behaved cable that's not going to get tangled in your pocket. Yeah, I like this cable, and I rate it for something of this sort of price on an earphone. The criticism for this comes from, this is a fingerprint magnet, as is the splitter, and also the fact, you get your first look at the earphones, the fact that they're using a flush 2-pin connector. There's nothing really wrong with it, it's just that it is, I prefer a recessed socket or even the KZ hooded socket, just because it provides that little bit of extra protection. But it's a very well made earphone, especially when you look at it. We'll get the cable to the side and we'll give you a closer look at these things. It's just a crazy design, super crazy concept, beautiful to look at. They've got this matrix design. If you look on the inside there, you can see where the 2-pin connector cable is actually not free floating, but it's encapsulating metal. It floats down into this little bulb area of it, which has the 10mm dynamic driver, and then you get this this gold coloured metal tip on it with the metal grates. It's just a super cool looking earphone. I mean, I've been asked a bunch of times, like, what is that? What does it do? I'm like, it doesn't really do much apart from convert what would be a bud style earphone into over-the-ear IEM style earphone. But it does it in a way that it looks super cool. It's very well made, it's solid metal. I'd have no issues about dropping this, and yeah, they're just they're out there. I'm pretty sure you can see that is just quite a crazy design and concept, and that there's nothing else on the market that's even quite like it. And it is solid metal. It looks really good. It just yeah, it blows me away. It's a cool looking earphone, and surprisingly is very comfortable for something with so many angular designs on it. It actually has an ergonomic bump here that helps it sit in your tragus and against your anti-tragus, and it just sits in there. And obviously, like, cutting all those holes in the metal, that's going to reduce the weight. And I would say that they're fairly light-ish earphone, although the weight obviously sits lower down here, which isn't a problem because that's the part that sits against that tragus, anti-tragus area. So the best thing about them overall is not the design, and I love the design. The best thing about them is actually the sound. I used this with a range of stuff. I used it with the Detonray Honey H1, the Shanling M6 Pro, straight out my MacBook Pro, straight out my iPhone with the DD Hi-Fi connectors, and this is just a really good sounding earphone for a dynamic driver at this price point. As I say, everybody's going hybrids, everybody's going like BAs, like these cheap BAs. Blon seem to have used a really good quality dynamic driver here that exhibits good punchy bass, along with quite good detail retrieval. The detail retrieval is not going to be on the level of some of the better BAs, like upwards of around about £100 and stuff like that, like something like the what was the one, the KZ AST that I reviewed, which is, you know, almost double the price. This, for a dynamic driver, it's a fun sounding, natural presentation. It's got a slightly elevated bass, and it's got just enough sparkle on the treble that makes it really pleasant to listen to. The mid-range is very smooth. It's got good weight in vocals, good clarity in female vocals, and good depth and granularity in the male vocals. The bass, it extends quite deep. It doesn't get into ridiculous sub-bass territory, but it's punchy, it's tight and controlled, and it does display some sub-bass response, but it has a very nice mid-bass response, especially mid-bass and the way it plays with the lower mid-range. It's a fun, engaging earphone that's going to work well with a lot of genres, and it's going to be very good for a lot of people. This feels and looks more special than its price point would suggest, and the sound on it is also equal to that in the sense that I think it's worth about the money. I don't think it's worth more than its current price tag of $80–90, but it gives you something different of a high quality dynamic driver that is not tuned in the way that something like for example, a tin hi-fi is a sort of thinner sounding thing with the T2, T3s. Other earphones to consider in this price point would be, you have the Shawzy Form 1.1. Similar sort of idea, both about the price range. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I like the look of at this price. The Urban Fun are quite popular, but they weren't quite my thing. The tin hi-fis are always a good bet, and the Haida's MS2. I would actually take these over the Haida's MS2 any day of the week. The only one that I'm kind of interested in right now is the other ones that I have, and I have a review coming up for this week. This is the TFC My Love 4, and these are going to offer something competitive to this, but as of right now, I really like these, rate these earphones, and would happily recommend them to you. They're just super cool, and the more I look at them, the more I like the silver, although I would love to see the dark coloured ones as well. So that's it for this review. As I say, if you like the format, there's going to be some changes to the quality of the videos, and there's a lot of reviews coming up in the next I would say 2 weeks. I'm looking to do 12 reviews. There's all 4 of the new Campfire Audio earphones will be in, the new Kineras. We have the Little Dot GYFU headphones. We have a couple of DAPs, and we just yesterday put out a review of the Harmonic Dyne PD1 if you want to go and check that out. These are awesome earphones, not in the same price point, but awesome earphones. So as always, if you want direct comparisons done to something like this, I'm thinking that I'm going to do a direct comparison video between this and the Aria, the Moondrop Aria V2s. That would be a good head-to-head matchup. But if you want to see any videos directly comparing 2 IEMs that I've reviewed before, that's great. I can go ahead and do that for you. I won't comment on earphones that I haven't heard. I'm not going to speculate on earphones. And if you want any recommendations for yourself, just give me the price that you want to pay, your sort of listening habits, where you listen, your genres, and yeah, I'll fire you back with what I would do in that situation. I'm not going to say that's perfect for you, but if you like some of the stuff that I like, that's probably a good way I can name 3 or 4 earphones, headphones or something like that, and you can go and check them out for yourself and do a little bit more research. But as it is, Blon Prometheus, excellent earphones, really like them.